She was smiling really hard at her phone. She was talking to one of those AI bots. I start reading some of the messages, and it's almost like she's talking to a real guy. And she said a lot of intimate things about herself, things we don't even do. I started to pack up my stuff to leave. So basically, she's, I assume, this AI bot, and they're getting pretty intimate. Not a real person.
It's so weird because it's not a real person, but I've been hearing that people are emotionally connecting with their AI bots like ChatGPT.
Maybe we have to start changing the definition of what cheating is. I don't know. That changes with generations.
Yeah.
And when you start adding in certain things that didn't exist before, potentially it could be seen as such.
My mind's just blown right now. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just so curious to know if she's using it to fill some sort of void. I don't like judging people.
That bot, he knows your girl. And he going to listen to everything she says. And he's going to give her compliments. And she's never wrong.
Galore.
She's never wrong.
No, it'll replace you really quick.
We were laying in bed, and she was smiling really hard at her phone. So I asked what was so funny. She told me that she was talking to one of those AI bots that pop up in ads. Initially, I was just amused and mildly off-put because I personally try not to use AI, but to each their own. But then she goes on to say, yeah, it's one of those ones, and laughs, but that kind of puts me on edge. I start reading some of the messages, and it's almost like she's talking to a real guy. They were detailed, and she said a lot of intimate things about herself, things I didn't even know, and things we don't even do. I got up immediately and started to pack up my stuff to leave, and she tells me it's not that big of a deal because it's just a bot and not a real person. She tried to initiate a little later on, but I'm still sort of fuming. What should I do?
We live in a weird world. We live in such a weird world.
I said, this is good because, AI's here.
It is here to stay, too. It's not going anywhere.
This could potentially be something that arises going forward. It sounds like maybe she was having fun with it, but how much fun is too much fun? How serious could it get?
Oh, my goodness.
What do you think? First thoughts?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you could do so much with AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it is scary that people are starting to use it in this way.
Okay.
I mean, I think that it could be beneficial for some people.
Okay.
Intrigued. But if you're in a relationship and he said that she was even saying things that normally she doesn't say, or talking about things that they don't even do.
Yeah. So basically she's, I assume, sexting this AI bot and they're getting, pretty intimate. It's not a real person.
It's not a real person, but
however,
people are
it's hard. It's hard to do because you don't know.
It's so weird because it's not a real person, but I've been hearing that people are emotionally connecting with their AI bots like ChatGPT and such, right? It's so scary because AI is so new. Mm-hmm. We don't know what's going to happen in the future and how this is truly going to affect the human population. And I just feel like it's a slippery slope to use AI as a companion or a sex what do you call them?
I don't know, like a sex chat.
One of those,
sex bot.
Yeah, no, I think that's I don't want to judge, but it's weird, okay? Mm-hmm. It's weird. I think that it could be beneficial for those people who unfortunately can't, what do you call them?
What?
Incels, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe for an incel.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in a whole relationship. Why do you feel the need to even play around? I don't think that she's playing around, first of all. Especially if he saw her talking about things that normally they wouldn't.
I know. I got a couple things to say here.
Okay. Well, yeah, let me hear your thoughts. My mind's just blown right now. I'm not even going to lie. It's just, I don't like judging people, but.
Okay. First thing I'll kind of start off with is, do you think this is any different than going and watching a P site?
Well,
what would you say is essentially the difference? It's not a real person.
yeah.
It's kind of maybe some sort of quote unquote fantasy.
Okay.
And she's doing, it's obviously intimate, which, same thing with the peace sites where you're watching something that's a bit of a fantasy. It's not you performing an act with somebody else. Some people will consider peace sites, maybe cheating. But obviously they exist for a reason. A lot of people don't consider it cheating.
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on if your partner is okay with it or not. You know,
Okay.
you know how we do is like if I caught you talking to see, yeah, because I'm gonna sit here and probably play devil's advocate and cape a little bit for her, but now I got to think about me being in the same position and how would I feel about you talking to an AI bot on some sort of like sexual with some sort of sexual with some sort of like sexual intent.
I just sorry.
And you said now listen, I know you say you weren't trying to judge and you called it weird. I'm not against that, but weird is, one person's
subjective.
weird, right? One person's weird is the next other person's normal, right?
Yes.
And also, I'll take it even further. Weird now may be norm in the future.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
like this could
so
be
true.
This, and then I'll take it even further. You said this could potentially help incels. Could it? I mean, could it also be detrimental, or could it? There's because you talk about it being a slippery slope, right? So we see there could be a world where they help people with mental health. If you do lack companionship, is there a world where AI helps you with that, or does it cause more social awkwardness? Who knows? I don't know. Also, we've seen in television shows, and I do think that this is kind of becoming a thing where AI is some sort of like a loved one that's died. And
Yes.
AI is able to like recreate the person, and you can talk to them. Is this detrimental, or is this something that does help people with their mental health? Same as a woman that loses a baby and then goes and gets one of those fake baby dolls
Okay.
to help her through the mental. Like some of them turn out, kind of weird, but some of them maybe it does help them. And I think we're really quick to say, hey, AI can be like really bad for us. But also, there's a world where it could be good. I think we just haven't really lived out that yet to see the potential future effects. Yeah,
absolutely.
So I won't jump to conclusions and say that it's crazy. Maybe within a relationship. I don't know. If I caught you doing this, it's hard to call it cheating. You can't call it cheating, right? I mean, it's not
a real person.
Do we or maybe we have to start changing the definition of what cheating is? I don't know.
Ooh.
I mean, that's that changes with generations.
Yeah.
And when you start adding in, certain things that didn't exist before, potentially it could be seen as such.
Yeah.
You know.
So interesting. Yeah. I because I wouldn't call it cheating, but I think that I would question like, why aren't you talking that way with me? Like, why are we not having these conversations?
Well, and that's why I compared it to like a peace site, right? Because there's a lot of times you go and search some wild stuff, okay? Some wild stuff that you don't do in real life.
That's
and
so
you don't
true.
even have the, like, even if the opportunity presented itself, you'd be like, hell no, I would never do that in real life.
Yeah, because it's just like a fantasy.
But watching it sometimes is like, it's like the thrill of the forbidden.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Something you wouldn't do, but the thrill of it, so it could be one of those things where it's like talking to some other bot where it feels like a man, but then that could introduce, these feelings of, is it you're teetering the line of if it's cheating, if you're treating it as if you're like talking to another man and then using the mask of, well, it's not an actual real person. Or it could just be a kink and you wanted to get some wild things off and you feel like your partner might judge you. I don't know.
This is so interesting. It is. It's very different.
But it's something that is happening and
it
is
is
going to happen and it's going to get more and more. And it's going to turn into actual, robots at some point. I mean, this is going to become a thing for sure.
This is our
future. So
future.
it's something to tackle and you could be totally against it. But as as generations progress and as technology progresses, then the last generation, they're always against the next wave of technology, right? They're against the internet when it came out. They're just, it's always that thing. So I'm never quick to like say, oh no, this is bad for society, because there was a time where people thought the internet was going to be bad for society. People thought the TV was going to be bad for society. People thought the video games were going to be bad for society. And maybe there's a world where they are, but there's also a world where they do a lot of good too. So I'm not going to be the first to be like, well, AI is going to kill us all. And maybe it does, but maybe it also helps us survive, years longer, if we're able to upload our consciousness into some sort of AI program. And then, it gets crazy. Cool. It gets crazy. Yeah. But back to the topic at hand. I mean, I don't know.
I am all for AI. And I do think that it is like very beneficial and can help people in so many different ways.
Yeah.
The sexual aspect of it is just, I wouldn't call that cheating.
Okay.
It is not a real person.
Sure.
But okay, so did he say that like she has been doing this? Like,
he didn't say like a long period of time. He just said he looked over. She made a joke about it and said it was one of those sex bots. So I don't know if he knows how long, or if she found it today. I don't know. I mean, you can tackle both, if it has been going on for a long time, or if it just started, or if it's,
Yeah, because like here's the thing. I just feel like we like to joke around.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I stumbled upon it, like I would want you to like, I'd be like, hey, like, come here, like, look at this. This is so crazy.
Sure,
and like, and then like we play around with it, like together. I'm just so curious to know if she's like using it to fill some sort of like void.
Yeah. I feel like that's what he needs to find out,
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I'm not judging. Like if that is like someone's thing and like what they want to do, like, I think that you should just do what you want to do if it's not like detrimental to like, someone else.
Yeah.
But if she's like actually using it,
let's like full force this. She is talking to this thing. She is having, she is maybe even, getting intimate with it. Yeah. Maybe getting off from it. Like, let's say it's gone to that depth. Is this an issue? Does her dude, does he worry? Does he try to join in? Does he try to, figure out what maybe he's lacking and then do it instead? Or it could just be, again, like the thrill of the forbidden. But that, again, could also potentially be a problem. Or it could be something that she never would do outside of it being a fake, AI thing.
Right.
Obviously, it'd almost be like any other kink, right? That you found out your partner had and might be weird to you. We just aren't so familiar with AI just yet, where it hasn't become a normal thing. But I mean, your kink could be like BDSM is a thing. Like if you found out your partner was into, you might feel like it was weird, but a lot of people engage in it. So you do know that it's a normal, I won't say normal, but it's definitely a well, understood and big, community thing where like a lot of people engage in BDSM.
Yeah.
Right. Where, so even you found out somebody was into it, you wouldn't probably immediately be like, oh, you're weird, because you've been accustomed to like seeing it or knowing that people are engaged in it, or even like the swinger life, right? Like maybe you're not into swinging, but you do know there's a large community that does it, right? Quite large community. And so, you wouldn't see it as weird. Now, AI is only weird because it's newer, but I don't know, 10 years down the road, this might be a normal thing.
Yeah.
How do you, again, these are all things to kind of consider.
Yeah.
I will be honest. If I found you doing this, like just to be straight up, if I caught you talking to an AI bot and I don't know. I mean, it'd be weird for me because I feel like we are pretty open, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like I would bring it up if I came across
that's why I'm trying
it.
That's why I'm trying to consider, like, if I had caught you and you didn't know it, or you kind of revealed it to me, or even if you did reveal it to me, how would I feel about it? I mean, I don't know. That's a hard position to put yourself in without experiencing it directly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know how, like, if you looked at my phone, or you looked over in bed and I was on the like messaging a female AI sex bot, what do you think? How do you think you would respond
I
to
think
that?
that I would like immediately like I think I would immediately question if I'm doing
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be like angry or like full blown
Yeah.
like upset because it is not a real person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not someone who's like easily obtainable that you can like go down the street or like take a flight and like
Sure.
see and like, you know, mess
Yeah.
around with.
Might judge me a little though.
I would
It's definitely something. Definitely going to
listen.
spark some judgment for sure.
Yeah,
Regardless of how
yeah.
unjudgmental you are.
I know. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
like to judge. I don't like to judge people's kinks either.
Yeah.
But I think that internally I might take a hit because
Sure.
I would question, you know, oh like, you know, if it's for fun, you fill it out and like have a little bit of fun with it and then you put it away, but like
Yeah.
full blown like using it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whether it be like daily, weekly, bi-weekly,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you feel some need to like
Yeah.
go back to that.
Sure.
But and if that's your thing, then okay, like, you know, I'll get used to it, right?
Maybe.
Some
Yeah.
women have to
Maybe.
get used to their men watching porn. There
Yeah.
are some people who are completely against it.
Mm-hmm.
And
But they say that obviously, you know, without doing the deep dive into, you know, watching, you know, P sites, I guess, you know, there are studies that, you know, say they do create this kind of false sense of reality and
Yeah.
can ruin a relationship. Now, it hasn't ruined ours. But you know,
true.
I don't
Yeah.
think it, you know, I think,
I think it could enhance it.
yeah, I mean, I don't
actually.
know what to tell those people. It doesn't do that to me, but I would
Yeah.
say somebody, I mean, obviously it can have a negative. I mean, it's just like alcohol, right? I guess
Yeah.
you drink too much or you become an alcoholic, but some people don't have an addictive personality. So, you know,
That
it's one
is
of those
so
things,
true.
right? So,
Yeah.
that's why I'm not so quick to condemn P sites because I just, you know, not everybody is going to
Yeah,
respond the
I
same.
don't condemn
but
him either.
yeah, I do think, you know, for maybe, I don't want to call it a weaker mind, but for a person not so cognizant, it could detrimentally affect them. But, you know, okay, so and this is why it's so important, I think, to be. This is why I think it's really important to have like open dialogue and open conversation, even
Yeah.
with the sexual things, right? Like it's really, really important to know, you know, or to feel comfortable. Obviously, I mean, I will say she did just pop up and tell him, so she seemed to
That's
not.
true.
I mean,
and she's doing it in front of him.
yeah, I mean, she seemed to not think it was a big deal. So
Yeah.
maybe they do have open communication. Well, I mean, he said he got up to leave, I guess, you know.
Yeah,
so
he was like packing his bag, right? Like
that's a
he's like,
lot.
I'm out
I
of here.
don't know if I've ever packed my bags, but whatever.
She
Nonetheless,
must have been saying some like
yeah, I
some
mean,
crazy stuff.
you know, nonetheless, that's why it is really important to have that open dialogue and make your comfortable also feel like make your partner also feel like it's a comfortable enough that it's a safe space to come to you, you know, even with their weirdness, you know. I think we all can admit that we probably have some weird thing about us. Doesn't have to be sexual,
Yeah.
right? But definitely, like, even when it does come to something that is sexual, I think we can admit, like, some of us probably have some weird kinks, probably have some weird things going on. People have foot fetishes. People have, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
people have foot fetishes, right? Like, I don't, but it's just like people like toes. I don't know how
Yeah.
to explain that, you know?
Yeah, that's so
and so,
true.
like, what do you do with that? So, yeah, I mean, that's why it's good. Again, you got to have, you know, the open communication, so that when your partner does come to you with some weird stuff, you can kind of like take it and have a conversation
Yeah.
and see how you like move forward. I don't know.
Yeah.
It sucks that this has to be a deep conversation because it's kind of.
I know. It's like
It's like AI,
it's silly in a way because
Yeah.
of AI being involved. Yeah. But I do think that it can be, like I said, a slippery slope because some people are actually emotionally attached
Sure.
in that way.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think like exploring and like doing it for fun, or if that ends up being like your thing, then
Yeah.
then, you know, it is what it is. but I don't know. It's just
I know it's new. It's new. It's a new thing, so it's hard to tackle
it is.
because we don't have all the information. We're going to see this more and more, but you don't know really what to. You don't know what the overall effects will be from it.
But I do see it tearing relationships apart and marriages, unfortunately, because there are people who are just so against AI still, and not open to it at all. And I could see that, becoming an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think even watching like a P site as opposed to actually messaging something that is giving you a certain feedback that feels realistic.
For sure.
It's walking a real thin line. I mean, I can't say it's crossing the boundary, but it's right there. If it ain't, it ain't much things you could do to get you over that boundary of like, this is not okay for like your partner.
Yeah.
And this honestly could be seen as that. Again, it just really comes down to, and I'll be honest, I don't think, let's say she was, doing this quite a bit, or let's say that this was some sort of addiction of hers or some sort of kink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a world where most partners would be okay with their partner doing it. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Like, some people are just open for it. I mean, some people have open relationships. So, I mean, there's that, I guess. So I guess there is a world where some people would be fine with this.
That's true. Yeah. I think like if you're in a relationship and a healthy one and your sex life is great, I don't think that there's like a need for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's something that like you could use to fill some sort of like void.
Yeah.
Like something is like missing, or like sex life isn't exciting, or maybe your partner doesn't talk to you, as dirty as you want them to.
Yeah, those are the things you should be asking. You should be asking the AI bot how to fix that.
Exactly. You should be on ChatGPT, Gemini, and like just trying to like, like learn how to enhance your sex life with your partner who can actually like, give you the real deal. I don't know. It's never crossed my mind to like use AI in that type of way. I use AI all the time, but I didn't know. Well, like I knew people were like using it like for sexual, reasons and desires. But I just find it so interesting. Like to be in a relationship, it's like one thing like, oh, this is like so funny. Like, let's, check it out and see what it does. But like,
it's also hard because there's so many comparable things to it. Like, I mean, people have sex dolls, realistic ones.
Yeah.
And their partner may not care, right? Because that's just how they,
It's like it's their thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's super comparable in my eyes.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like, you're physically engaging with that.
Right.
And it does come across as like a different person, even though it's not real.
Yeah.
So sexting a fake, chat, I don't see as, it's not far-fetched. It's not far off from it.
That is so interesting.
I just think maybe the conversation adds another element to it, maybe. But
I think so too. Yeah. I think instead of like packing up your bag and like running away, just having the conversation of like, why? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, how long, I think is very important. Because if she's like, oh, like I just downloaded it today, right? So then that like lets you know, like, okay, this isn't like her thing or her kink yet. Like, who knows?
Right.
Who knows? But yeah. And maybe like analyze like your sex life, like how is it like? How is she feeling? Find out how she's feeling about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that should be a normal conversation in all relationships. I know it's not. I know that a lot of people still, it's so funny because we all like, we do the act, but for some reason, for a lot of people, it's still like, oh God, like you don't talk about it.
Yeah,
for sure. It's still like taboo to talk about it, which is like
such an
really
important
weird.
part of a relationship, especially part of a marriage, and you have kids. I mean, these conversations. I don't know. I think it's we got to normalize like sex not being so taboo in a relationship,
Yes.
right? We can have the conversation of, hey, what do you like? What don't you like? What are your weird kinks? Let's see if I can kind of be down. Because I feel like we've read a couple of stories that, where the girl or the guy was into something and the other person was kind of shocked or appalled by it.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, you should know that about your partner.
Yes.
You should know that about your partner. Obviously, and you don't, because you haven't normalized being comfortable having those conversations. And again, she immediately told him, so maybe she does feel comfortable having that conversation. Maybe she didn't think nothing of it. You might already be in that place, but your reaction says to me that you're not, because you got pretty upset about it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, but her action in terms of just being able to tell you immediately seems like she doesn't find it to be that big of a deal. But
and it kind of like with her reaction, it kind of does seem like she's doing it for funsies.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. That's why I wanted to kind of tackle if it was something serious. It could just be fun, and then your reaction may not. I mean, you're allowed to react however you want, but also read the room. If she told you and didn't think anything of it, clearly she wasn't aware that it would upset you, and so you should approach it as such.
Absolutely, I agree, for sure. So, 'cause it just seems like she was just having a little bit of like fun with it.
Yeah.
And hopefully nothing comes of it, like, because clearly he's upset by it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's something that she can continue on.
Right.
While being in their relationship, unless he's open to it.
And AI shouldn't ruin your relationship. That should not be how you go down, right?
It's so funny.
That shouldn't be how you go down, bro or ma'am.
It's so funny to think about, though, like AI coming between you.
Yeah.
In your relationship.
Oh, that was like
AI
a movie
has
where
no clue.
Yeah, I remember the movie where the woman wasn't like home enough for her husband, so she ends up getting him like a sex robot and letting him like explore the sex robot. But then he ends up like falling in love.
Was that the one with Megan Fox?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it was a little far fetched. Like I think it did
really
go a little
hot.
bit, like obviously the movie's gonna, gas it up a bit. He falls in love with it and then he starts taking its side over his wife. Like it gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
That's a bit much, right? But I mean potentially that could happen. Potentially,
it could.
I mean, especially if you start to see her as a real person. Again, we don't know the effects of that AI is gonna have over the future. I know a lot of you are gonna think that AI is like bad for us, and I'm not here to disagree with you. I'm just here to say I don't know. What I use it for is extremely helpful. I mean, it's extremely like mandatory and necessity in my life consistently. I mean, I build programs with it.
Mm-hmm.
I create. I'm a creative. I do all the show. I edit all of our stuff with it. I mean, it's been insanely helpful. In my creative process and just in my business. So, I mean, it's hard for me to go against what I've been able to do, but obviously like everything, it has its yin and yang, it has its negatives and its positives. So, just use at your own risk and know your boundaries and know yourself, be self-aware and know, what you can handle and what you can't. I'm not the AI warning label, but yeah, it's the future. So, fight it all you want,
and we have to adapt to it.
Yeah,
like
the sex bots are coming.
They are
coming with a vengeance.
To kill your partners.
Better get it in check, man.
Oh my god!
Especially the robots, they're gonna be all nighters.
Oh my god!
They ain't gonna be live till the battery runs out.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
you're going to have some competition out there.
Step it up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue to cherish, human interaction, right?
Yeah, don't lose that. Like, because that's like, we need that connection.
Yeah.
We really do. And and that's why, like, I am all for AI. Like I said, I use it on a daily basis, especially for all the things that he's mentioned as well. But I do see people using it to connect. And it's like, don't forget, like, you have to connect with real humans. Like, you have to, like, go out there and, like, and touch a real human.
They say touch some grass, but touch some humans.
Yeah, not inappropriately.
Not without their consent, but.
Yeah, of course. But, like, get out there and, like, and interact and talk. And
Yeah.
I just think that that's so important. We cannot lose that, you guys.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, like, what we would end up being if we lost that.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're just such, like,
interactive people.
Yeah.
You know, social skills are a big part of that. And, you know, I think we'll be okay. We've seen waves of technology come.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to end the world, and somehow we adapted, you know.
That is so true.
We figured it out. So
that's very true.
I'm not the big conspiracy theorist here. You're more than welcome to add your conspiracy theories in if you'd like. And I'm open to all
let's
of
hear
that.
them.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know my advice. My advice is just, you know, our advice usually ends with having conversations.
Communication.
Right. But those open, uncomfortable conversations, make that a norm. Make it a norm to have even the sexual conversations, learning your partner intimately. I've read a couple of stories that I haven't brought to the show yet, of partners complaining about their partner not taking the time to get to know them, you know, intimately, sexually. And honestly, I don't even need stories for that. I've heard that consistently from partners of mine, or just throughout life from people in general. And it's always surprising when I hear it, but I just can't imagine that, you know, you haven't taken the time to figure out what your partner likes and doesn't like, whether it's verbally, whether it's physically, whether you've talked about it verbally, whether you've just been able to kind of perceive it during, you know, some sort of intimate, you know, action. You know, it's crazy to me that people don't do this, but you know, they don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, a high percentage, I would like to say.
That sex bot, he knows your girl. He knows your girl.
Yes.
And he gonna listen to everything she said, and he's gonna give her compliments. And she's never wrong. Galore. She's never wrong.
No, it replace you really quick.
I gotta tell AI, like, I literally got to tell Gemini, like, please don't compliment me in your response. Just give me the response.
They overdo it.
Yeah, chill out, bro. I don't need all that extra, you know, patronizing. Yeah. Just answer the damn question. But but you start talking to your girl that way.
Yeah,
yeah, that positive reinforcement, that validation.
It's so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I bet.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Have those conversations. Be open to exploring things with your partner, and then whatever you're not open to, man, obviously at the same time have your boundaries.
Yeah,
and don't cross them.
That is so important. Yep. And if you know,
and if your partner respects them, you know, then you're good. If they don't, then you know, you got to find somebody who will respect them. I don't know. It's really that simple.
It is that simple. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, that's all I got for the AI sex bot today. Good luck
we'll
out
have
there.
More of those.
Yeah, good luck out there, you know. And Godspeed. Y'all take it easy.